Hello and welcome back to Looney Bin. My name is Looney and I've rested up after making that video early in the morning. And I'm going to give my personal thoughts now on the matter. It will be different from the previous video where it was mostly just reading through the statement and, talking about, what Nijisanji has said alongside with what Selen has said, or as she is now known as Doki Bird, her independent alt account. And I just want to point out first before we get into it that I'm not, a lawyer. I can't give legal advice. I can't, define what the legal system says about certain things. So I can't properly say that, certain stuff is what should be done because I'm not a lawyer. And right now, I'm going to only state either side as allegations simply just for legal purposes, stuff like that. So not to get like an entire company after me, even though I'm like a really low level YouTuber, but safe to be sorry. So right now just allegations, but I'm gonna give you my personal thoughts on the whole matter. And frankly, it's not good on the side of Nijisanji. Why? Because the statement that they released has a lot of contradictions that just really make no sense to me. There's a lot of iffy and very sus type of stuff that they put in that statement that just doesn't correlate well or with what has happened with us, what Doki Bird has stated and other evidence that we have seen through Twitter and all that stuff. Nijisanji has, like I mentioned in the previous video, has had some questionable decisions by the management. By questionable, I mean there's a lot of stuff going on in management that just isn't working well. And it's just really chaotic. It's really bad to the point where, like, now you see how bad it has been, where a lot of, of the talent is now either decided to graduate or, in Doki Bird's case, she has been terminated. And the whole situation with Selen, it just brings to light just how really bad the management at Nijisanji really is. I can't speak for the Nijisanji JP side. From what I know, that the Nijisanji JP side is at least a little bit better than the management over on Niji EN. But that doesn't matter in this case, because at the end of the day, this really hurts the company very much. It's really damaging to them. They want to save face. They want to, claim that, they're doing this to protect their company, but it's doing the exact opposite of that. It's insane how their mindset is taking this, and frankly, it sucks for Doki Bird, because I know, and just based off everything that everyone has said, Doki Bird really liked being in Nijisanji, and then all of a sudden just things have started to get really bad, to the point where, like, she was legit harassed by management, by her fellow livers. The whole situation is disheartening. It's a mess, and I feel so bad for Doki Bird that she had to go through this to a point of hospitalization. That is such a foul thing to hear about, and I can't support, like, a company that refuses to help when they are begging. When someone is begging that they are being bullied or harassed, that they don't help them in any form or way, and they just make it worse. Nijisanji says that there was no harassment, but why would Selen lie about that? Selen mentions in her Doki Bird alt account that she was harassed. That she was harassed to the point that she had to be hospitalized, and she even left a video message on Twitter, and you could hear just how sad her voice was, just how much she had been crying before she went live with that video recording, or voice recording I should say. And you can also feel a little bit of relief and happiness that she's finally gone from that place. She will be streaming in like 2 days from the upload of this video, so definitely go support her on her alt account. And even in that same tweet, she talked about an attempt, which only means one freaking thing, is that she literally tried to harm herself. That is such a really terrible thing to hear from anybody. And she literally was bullied and harassed to the point that she tried and attempted to harm herself, and that's why she was hospitalized. That is so terrible. That's just something that's really unforgivable, that Nijisanji apparently knew about the harassment, did nothing about it, to the point where Selen / Doki Bird had to do that. And Oh man, that is just such a shitty thing to hear about. Oh my goodness gracious. I just cannot fathom like what kind of BS is going on over at Nijisanji to have one of the talents even think about something like that, you know? Jeez, oh man. Damn it. It's just so crappy. It's so disgusting by the company. Oh my goodness gracious. I feel so bad for her. God damn it. And not only that, in regards to her harming herself, Nijisanji's statement apparently is blaming her for the harassment and bullying that she endured. Like, oh my goodness gracious. Like, how are you so bad at this? Oh, I don't like being angry on camera, but this is so infuriating to think that a company is doing this, where there's actual bullying harassment happening in the company. Their statement is blaming her for the reason for it. That's so ass backwards. Oh my goodness gracious. It's so ridiculous just how they went about this way. Their statement. Oh my god. Oh, I feel so bad for Selen. Poor Selen. Poor Doki Bird. Oh man, I feel so bad for her. My goodness. And also, I just want to also point out that a lot of people are saying that the JP side of the announcement, the Selen's termination announcement, according to some people, it's stating that there's, there's no, explanation or like any source of the so-called harassment. I think some of them said that there wasn't even a mention of harassment, or even some mentioned that there was, more detail about the harassment. But according to like some people who also translated it, it doesn't seem like there was much difference between the JP and the English translation. And there's also one other thing I should mention about the JP translation of it. There is a lot of different laws in Japan, specifically around defamation. So they have to keep it or word it in a way where they aren't legit, defaming her in a way that will get them to legal trouble. That's why the Japanese translation, or like the Japanese version of their statement, seems less not out in the open as much as the English translation, because there are defamation laws that are a lot more strict in Japan. And another note to for that JP version of it is that they apparently call out Selen for being, in charge of harassment based on what they believe to be harassment, where what they consider harassment may not be harassment for like a majority of people, but they're calling it harassment anyway to put the blame on her and shield, the liars, so that they can stand behind the liars and, put it on them instead of, the company itself, which is not a great way to run things. Again, I don't know what the JP version says. There's a few people who are saying or are translating it this way. Some people are saying it's translated that way, and it's more like, based on who you believe and what you want, like who you want to believe. You may have different interpretations of it, but at the end of the day, the JP translation just it's just very hard to put your trust in Nijisanji, especially after like so many other instances that have been talked about over the last year or so, maybe even more. So it sucks overall. Why would somebody lie? Like when you are going to a company that gives you an opportunity to I don't want to say the word cloud, because cloud is such a really juvenile word nowadays, but exposure. Nijisanji, despite its faults, allows people to get exposure. Some people would rather have that so that once they graduate, they could then leave and they have that exposure to basically be supported by other people, and a lot of people would love to have that. So Nijisanji at least does that. The problem is that Nijisanji, especially on the inside, seems to not care enough about what they want, like what the libraries want to do. They're very restricted apparently, and it sucks to hear that. They also apparently don't care about like the health and safety of a lot of their talents, which is it's such a really bad thing for any company to not actually care about, you know, the health and safety of the employers, not the employees, the employees, you know. And just hearing about it, just hearing about how like Selen for months have been just fighting with management, and now with all the harassment allegations, and I'm pretty sure other libraries probably experienced some of that as well. Just it's all around. Just the management on the Nijisanji side is just really terrible right now, and they need to quickly fix this. But I think their reputation has taken a really bad hit. I don't know if they could save themselves. I don't know if people will still try to apply to Nijisanji simply just because, you know, of this. There will always be people out there who want like exposure, so who knows. But this really hurt them a lot. You know, this will never make them be looked at in a very positive light until changes actually freaking happen. And I'm talking about like changes all around in the company. So who knows? Doki Bird had a lot of issues with that, where she apparently had to go through copyright people, through artists, and, you know, music people by herself to make sure that she could get the copyright for a lot of the projects that she wanted to do. And she literally has apparently asked Niji management to actually, you know, do that. But when they either didn't do it, or like they're like, yeah, we'll do it, and then they never do it, what choice does she have? She wants to do these projects, and they're being very restricted to her. So it's like now Nijisanji is mad that she did that, and I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why are you mad at her? She wanted your help, and you refused to give it. There was another VTuber, I forgot her name, but she was with Nijisanji, and she was shocked to hear that V-Soldier management wanted to help her. Like, she was shocked. And it's just like, what is going on at the Niji management that you don't want to help your talents do these certain projects like MVs? And not only that, but there's also a lot of other things where, like, the whole situation with the MV, the thing that started all of this, where she posted a music video, and Nijisanji apparently took it down. They private it, which contradicts what they say. Like, man, it's so weird. It's so really weird, and it's like, it's just really disheartening, all of this. And what's also weird is that apparently, according to that same document, they, you know, removed her access to a lot of her social media stuff, right? They removed her access, and apparently, you know, around the time they removed the access, a couple days later, Selen apparently tweeted. Wait. So how does that make sense, right? Why would she tweet that? Now, I don't know if this is the case. I have no proof of this, allegations or anything like that. But it seems like Nijisanji were trying to, you know, keep it under, you know, the rug, and try to make everyone know that, you know, no, she's fine. She was, and they clearly said that she was hospitalized to, you know, to relieve some, you know, people's worry, you know, about Selen. And it's just like, wait, hold on. If this is not Selen talking about this, but this is actually someone from Niji, that means that the harassment stuff is actually true. Like, what if she was hospitalized and they never gave a reason for it? Because I think the only thing they said was an incident, and I'm just like, well, what incident could it be? The only thing we've heard about any incident was her being harassed and bullied. So it's just like, so that means that it's true. As a company, you cannot allow bullying and harassment happen. Sometimes it happens in secret. I understand that. And sometimes people will come forward about certain bullying. But the moment you find out about the bullying, which apparently Niji, you know, knew about, you have to take care of it. That is so ass backwards. You have to take care of the bullying. If another library, I'm not saying who it is because I have no idea who it is. I'm not going to make a theory. I'm not going to put a blame on anyone. And please do not go to other library streams and bully them, you know, or suspect them of being the ones to bully Selen. Do not do that. That's really messed up. We don't know who the library is. Anyone who even suggests or claims they know who it is don't believe them, because it's all just theory. They never admitted it. We don't know if Doki will ever admit it because of legal issues. But yeah, if you are a person in a company and you're being harassed, you have to take care of that harassment. Be the person in charge. Tell them, okay, this is enough, deal with it. And if you find out one of the livers is doing it, you have to like talk to them. You have to tell them stop it, or if it's actual really bad harassment, terminate the contract. That's what you have to do, because the person being bullied is not the one who's getting, it's not their fault that they're getting bullied. It's the person who's doing the bullying that should be terminated, not, the person who's being bullied. So it's just so baffling, like why, just how bad this management is. And me personally, I just wouldn't want to work with a company like that, and it just makes people lose trust in them. And one of the worst parts is that Selen literally found out about her termination alongside all of us. She wasn't even aware that she was going to be terminated until, Nijisanji posted that. That's also just another example of a really bad way that management handled this. God damn it. It's such a there's no reason to do this. You should have spoken with your talent. That's really it. That is also another really bad thing they did. The whole Nijisanji statement just feels like they're using the livers to shield them from their own, their own incompetence. And it's a shame, because one, if another talent is bullying another talent, you have to deal with that right away. You cannot, keep it under the rug. If there is bullying happening and harassment happening, you have to deal with it. And if it's proven that person is harassing them, you got to terminate them. I mean, I don't understand why that is not grounds for immediate termination, but just doing the activity rules is. Like, I understand, apparently Nijisanji is stating that she had multiple, instances of this. But if the instances are literally her going to the copyright stuff, dealing with the copyright stuff herself, and, posting these projects that she wanted to do because you wouldn't help her, that seems such a really petty way to be angry at her for, But at the end of the day, if that's what she did and you're not terminating the contract of someone who's harassing her, that is such a goddamn ass backward way of thinking. Harassment should not be allowed in any sort of company. That's why we have HRs, Overall, they are just deflecting from their poor management and trying to blame it on other people. You could clearly see in the statement that they were trying to do that, and it's such a shame. It really is. I don't want to support a company like this, honestly. Like, I know I do VTuber reactions and stuff like that for Nijisanji. I don't know if I should continue them for at least for the foreseeable future, unless Nijisanji decides to actually man the fuck up and change the way they run the company, on the management side. It's a shame, because I really love watching them. I really love watching their content. I think they're freaking hilarious. I love the type of chaos they create in terms of content. And it's just that you have to understand that people are never going to be loyal to the company. No matter what the agency is, most of the time people will never be loyal to the company. They'll be loyal to the actual, talent. They always will be. That's the thing that I think a lot of these VTuber agencies don't understand, is that no matter how much you think they love you, they don't. They honestly love the talent more, and they will gladly move away from you to follow that talent. And a lot of VTuber agencies don't seem to understand that. Yes, I get it. You give them exposure. Without you, those talents wouldn't be here, so you wouldn't be able to support them, so you would be able to know that. Yeah, I understand that argument, but at the end of the day, that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the talent is what's most important to the viewers. Most, like 90% of the people who watch the talent will almost hardly never support the company if the company does really, or allegedly does something really messed up. And overall, it just sucks. I really like doing the V2 reaction, but I think for the time being, I think I'll probably stop doing it. stop doing the reaction for Nijisanji. Let me know in the comments if you want me to stop doing it, or if you still prefer me to do that, to do those reactions, because I know a lot of people like when I do those reactions. So let me know if you still want me to do the reactions. It's just a shame. It's a shame that this is how it all went down. It would be very interesting to see what Doki Bird says in her stream. More than likely, though, she probably won't say anything because of legal issues. Because, you know, she probably some sort of NDA, or, you know, Nijisanji could literally just go after her legally wise, and that's probably already a nightmare. It's a shame that all this went down. I feel so bad for Doki Bird, and I'm glad it didn't go to a point where she literally had to do some drastic measures, because frankly it would suck, and that would really been so terrible to see someone so talented, you know, do something really severe, you know. And yeah, so I'll continue supporting Doki Bird. I think at the end of the day, like I said, we the viewers care more about the talent than the company. We always will. And frankly, yeah, I mean that's all I gotta say. At the end of the day, Nijisanji is the one that messed up. They could point fingers at anyone. They could do whatever they want. At the end of the day, Nijisanji, the company, messed up. They lost a talent, a really good talent, and they tried to, you know, shield away, hide behind, blame other people, all just to save face. Which, at the end of the day, you did the exact opposite. It just seems like you did the exact opposite, and it sucks. So, yeah, those are my personal thoughts after giving some time to think about it. And, yeah. So, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoy it. Like I said, please in the comments if you still want me to do my reactions for Nijisanji. Yeah, just let me know, and I'll talk to you guys soon. And Doki Bird, good luck, and we will still support you. So definitely subscribe to her channel. She will be live in like 2 days, so definitely give her a like, give her a view, you know, support her in any way that you can. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.